folks, final day of the 12 days of anime. I'm so glad you guys could be here, but first and foremost, God bless you all. Merry Christmas. I am so happy that you guys joined me for this. If you're watching this right now, I appreciate it very much because I know with Christmas Day, it's kind of hard to watch, YouTube videos. You're with either family or maybe you're working. I'm working technically, not as of doing this video because that would make no sense, but I did work this morning. I don't know how it is because I'm recording this video before work, but it's interesting if you think about it. But here's the thing, folks. This was the hardest thing for me to do video-wise because I had so many shows I wanted to put up on the pedestals. I really wanted to have like maybe 5 or 6 shows be runner-ups. They were so damn close. There were so many shows I could have had runner-ups. There were so many shows that could have been anime of the year for me. But I had to really think about what I wanted to do. I sat down and went, okay, what shows can make it? What shows put the most impact on me? So here we go with the runner-up. Now, I'm not going to have 2 shows being tied. I was originally going to do a 2-show tie for runner-up. It was going to be Love is Like After the Rain and then another show, which is going to be the runner-up. But Love is Like After the Rain was a great romance. It had taboo concepts to it. But it was not done in a creepy or like nasty way. It was done in a very sensual and also very romantic way where you have the main character being 18 years old. She fell in love with a guy who was much older than her. But the thing is that it was never taken to a nasty territory. It was always where the man respected her, obviously, and even more so, he always made sure that when he understood that she loved him, he fell for her slightly too, but he realized there's an age gap that they really can never, go against each other. It was always going to be something that would make them drift apart as time went by, and so he really pushed himself away slightly, but at the same time knew she was important in his life too. The manga ending is very different than the anime ending, so if you watch the anime for it, go check out the manga ending. It's got a great story to it too, but I love the anime ending. I love the kind of parting between them where they were still on the same path, but the same token, I think he realized that he had to find himself first before he decided even to be with this woman who might be a possible future girlfriend of him. He never knew, and I think that's always this very interesting way. And the way they ended was almost perfect. Not perfect, but almost perfect. But for me, the runner-up of 2018 was Wotakoi, or It's Hard to Love an Otaku. I love this show. I really did. In terms of romance comedy, there have been millions of romance comedy anime out there. The laundry list is so deep that I'm not even going to go start naming off shows. It's just that incredible. But Wotakoi did something really interesting where it brought a sense of realism. These characters did not feel like caricatures. They felt like real people in many ways. You had this thing where these are people that went to work, that would go home and play video games, or go and watch anime, or read manga, or start fixing up for cosplay, or getting ready for conventions, or go to conventions, etc. They all felt like real people. Every single character in the show, and the relationship between both the main characters and because there was 4 characters that were essentially main characters, additional 5 and 6 if you really think about near the end, but I don't really consider them yet because the manga goes a little further, obviously, and the anime doesn't. But the thing is that these characters all were really just well done. They're couples that you almost could really see being real, and that's so rare for a show like that. It's something that romance comedies always feel like, it's like, it's funny as it is, you feel like there's almost a fictional concept to them. In Wotakoi, it feels like it's real. And as someone who actually dated an otaku, hard thing, I'll tell you right now, I consider myself an otaku in many ways, but at the same token, I have the symbolism of I know what real is and I know what fake is. So the thing is that much as I love like a waifu, or it's like I never let it go and delve into me too much where I'm like, oh, waifus only, I can never see myself loving a real person. Versus the person I dated, she loved anime husbando a little too much, and it was to the point that it's like, okay. So it was a little hard to deal with that. I tried, obviously didn't go that as well as possible, but the thing is that it's very hard. But I do also know some couples that are actually really close friends of mine who are otaku, and they get along. They have their fights about, what's the best anime, or why do you believe that, or, they have some big fights, but at the same token, they always love each other. They always show gratitude to one another, and they really respect one another's opinions on a lot of things. So it's not impossible. If you're someone who wants to date another otaku, just remember that there's some fights that are probably going to be inbound. Best husbando, best waifu, etc. It's probably going to be the least ones that you have to worry about. Now, here's where this list became super hard for me. The best anime of 2018. I struggled with this. Oh my god, I struggled with this. It took me like maybe a good hour to figure out really what was going to be the best anime of 2018 to me. A Place Further in the Universe could have been. It could have been, and these are shows that didn't make it obviously, but A Place Further in the Universe could have been there. Steins Gate Zero was freaking hell close. I mean, like this close to being there. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to avoid sequels or prequels in terms of my best anime 2018, only because the legacy that builds up a sequel, like for example, Attack on Titan Season 3 was amazing. My Hero Academia Season 3 was amazing. But the problem is that those are sequels based off of series that have been going on for several years now, at least. And the problem is that also with that, you can't really base a series solely on sequels. I feel like, to me, calling something the best of 2018 if it's a sequel is almost redundant, because it's not something that came out technically in 2018. It came out years ago. Yeah, maybe the new season came out and maybe it's, you know, better animation, better visuals in 2018 or whatever, or 2019 if, you know, when we do 2019's all that stuff. But it wasn't in 2018 technically. It didn't start. You know, the legacy didn't start there. So I avoided all sequels, but trust me, guys and girls, those series were amazing. Attack on Titan Season 3 was amazing. My Hero Academia Season 3 was amazing. They were for me, some of the best anime of 2018, hands down. For me, best anime of 2018 was Violet Evergarden. Now, some of you are going to be very surprised by that, because I know Violet Evergarden, I really hated Violet Evergarden when I first watched it. Like, the first couple episodes, was not into it. I did not like the main character at all. Violet was not someone I really cared for originally. Only by episode 3 or 4, where I was like, oh my god, I understand why she's like this. I understand her story. I understand her past. I understand why her character has to move in unnatural ways, almost like a robot. It's one of those shows that as you watch, you start realizing how much it's just amazing. And it's like animation, perfect. Really, I love the animation. Every single scene was just so impactfully done that you could see they spent hours and hours doing this animation that they're working on, making sure the art was just pitch perfect. Story wise, they were all episodic in nature. You know, they had a running theme to them, but it was always, you know, Violet has to deal with this person, Violet has to meet this person, Violet has to go to this person. So it was very episodic. But the thing is that while I don't usually like episodic stuff like that, it was very well done because all the stories interlocked in many ways. It was all because Violet Evergarden takes place in a story that's after the war. Like, you don't see the war that happens. You see the after effects. You see the families devastated by war. You see the children that have lost their parents because of war. You see the people that are now struggling with like PTSD after this war. And it makes for a really strong story. It makes for a story that feels very different than most war-like anime or war-based anime. So that's why I loved Violet Evergarden. I thought that was just amazing. It really picks up after certain stories showing up. To the point that there was not one, but several episodes I legit was crying so hard I couldn't stop. The one episode that was about the parents made me cry nonstop. The one episode where the romance that was almost possible made me cry. It was just, there were so many episodes that really got you in the heart, and that's when a show can do that. It shows how strong the show is and the impact of it and how immersive that show is, because not very many anime can really ever get you to get emotions to come out. You know, there are anime that'll make you occasionally go, oh, like I'm tearing up a little because I can't believe that happened, or you'll feel a little bad for the characters. You know, Steins Gate Zero, for example, had some really, really strong moments that you were like, I'm gonna avoid crying. I'm gonna try avoid. You find yourself crying 2 seconds later. But the thing is that with Violet Evergarden, it was just so well done as the series progressed too. The opening, when it was used, it wasn't always used. It was really, really nice, and the music that was just in the show really just hit all the perfect notes to make for a, I want to say, like, what's the, I don't want to keep saying immersive, but it's one of those shows that when you watch it, you find yourself glued to the screen. You know, that to me is a great level of immersion. You know, when you play video games and you could really feel yourself running through that character's shoes as that character, that's a rarity. And when you find a game like that, that means it's a winner, to me at least. When you could do that, you could see yourself running as this character, you start visualizing yourself as this character. Not many games can do that. You know, there's some that you kind of do it, or some that make you feel like you're a badass for a little while, but they don't immerse you that much. Violet Evergarden, I was so glued to the screen because I was just living through Violet's eyes in the story. I was always seeing her world, learning about these characters, learning about some of the struggles, learning about all these little things that they were showing, you know, of the war, and even her character. They didn't blast you with all of her character information right away. They started trying to, it looked like, in the first couple episodes. Why I disliked Violet Evergarden initially was I felt like they were going to do that, where they were just going to spend one episode and just solely just blast you in the face with their past. They spread it out, and they did a very smart way where they showed like highlights. They showed little, you know, flashbacks here and there. You know, Violet would look at a pendant on like a merchant seller's cart, and she'd be like, "Oh my god!" And she would think about the past, or you would hear like certain characters that she was interacting with, their past was was revealed, excuse me, as time went by. I can gush about Violet Evergarden all day. I really could. It was just so freaking amazing. If you haven't checked Violet Evergarden out, I highly recommend checking it out. For me, it was the best thing of 2018. Anyways, guys and girls, let me know in the comments below. Here, the question of the day is for you. What was your favorite anime of 2018? Please, if you really can, try to avoid using sequels. I understand if you do like a runners up as a sequel, that's fine. But again, the reason why I told you already with sequels to me and why it didn't make the top is just why I said it already. But try to avoid it if you can. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. I hope you enjoy the 12 Days of Anime, folks. I will hopefully be back for 2019. We'll see what happens. This was a very hard series for me to make, especially with work. And also the fact that I got sick midway through. It was a struggle, but I really enjoyed the comments I got from a lot of you. Some videos did better than others. Some videos did god-awful, but that's okay. I'm always understanding of that. And I hope you guys really enjoyed it. That's the really main draw of this whole thing is if I got 10 of you watching that you really liked it, that's good enough for me. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. God bless you all. Again, Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year's when it comes out too. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye, everyone.